First at noon, President Trump is headed to Pennsylvania to deliver a speech about the economy and affordability. Now, this comes after he called affordability concerns a Democratic hoax, and he's trying to shift the blame for higher prices. Erica Brown has more from Washington.
President Trump is expected to address the key issue of affordability, a growing concern for Americans, at a rally Tuesday in Pennsylvania. The president's trip comes as many Americans face economic uncertainties and struggle with higher prices. At the White House Monday, Trump unveiled a $12 billion aid package for farmers impacted by his tariff policy and placed blame on the Biden administration for higher prices.
We brought prices way down from what it was. We inherited high prices. We inherited the biggest inflation in the history of our country. That means prices going up, and we brought it down very substantially.
CBS News polling shows most Americans disapprove of the president's handling of the economy, but the White House maintains inflation has gone down and Americans will see lower prices.
Affordability has two components. There's inflation, and then there's real incomes. Real incomes are up about 1%. And what we're not going to do is say that Americans don't know what they're feeling. We've been working on it every day.
The president says consumers will soon feel some relief with lower prices for vehicles after a rollback of fuel efficiency standards and deals to cut prices on certain prescription drugs. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Meanwhile, this Thursday at noon, Senator Brian Schatz is hosting a statewide telephone town hall meeting. Now, during the meeting, Hawaii residents will be able to voice their questions and concerns. Senator Schatz will also be discussing his work in Washington. If you're interested in joining the meeting, you can register at the website listed there on your screen. An HPD officer is recovering after he was allegedly stabbed while on duty in Waikiki. Now, this happened just after midnight inside a Kuhio Avenue building. Officers were responding to a call of an armed 35-year-old man experiencing a mental health crisis. Police tell us the man also injured himself during the incident. Thankfully, the officer is considered to be in good condition. The suspect was arrested and then taken to a hospital for a mental health evaluation. The case is being investigated as an attempted murder. Honolulu police are looking for a suspect after multiple gunshots were fired at parked cars in Wahiawa overnight. Officers were called to Palm Street shortly before midnight. They found two parked vehicles with bullet holes. A witness told officers a silver SUV had pulled up and flashed gang signs before driving away. The gunshots were then reportedly heard. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call Crime Stoppers. On Kauai, a man accused in multiple car thefts at Trailheads in the Kapa'a area is now behind bars. Kauai police arrested 29-year-old Charles Aban on Friday after a joint operation with officers from the Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources. He's believed to be involved in some of the 25 recently reported break-ins at popular hiking spots. Police and state conservation officers continue to investigate the thefts. Aban is being held on $320,000 bail. Well, court documents revealed an alleged motive that led to the fatal shooting of a Maui police officer. Suzanne O died in the line of duty in August, and prosecutors say phone calls the defendant made from jail explain why he killed her. Chelsea Davis reports.
Court documents filed by Maui prosecutors point to an alleged motive behind the August slaying of Officer Suzanne O in Paia. Prosecutors say the temporary restraining order police served the defendant, Climbert Kaneholani, just 2 days before the fatal shooting is, quote, relevant to show the defendant's motive for murdering a police officer, the intentionality of his actions, and the lack of mistake. They cite a recorded jail call on September 2nd, where Kaneholani allegedly talked about the TRO and said, right after that, Brian brah. That was it, brah. I wanted to take lives already. I wanted to take lives, these cops, and I wanted them for take my life. They also cite another recorded jail call on September 5th, where Kaneholani was again allegedly talking about the TRO and said she sent the cops to my house and the cops take my son away from me and I was going to shoot these expletive over there at the house and have a shootout at the house. They also said a co-worker told police that Kaneholani said he wanted to die in a shootout with the police multiple times. Maui defense attorney Matthew Nardi has no affiliation with the case, but has more than 2 decades of law experience, and we asked him to help explain the new legal filings. He says motions like these are filed in court so both sides know how to prepare for trial.
And whether or not certain evidence should come in, if it comes in, should it be sanitized somewhat? Or should it be excluded?
And no matter the evidence, Nardi says is not necessarily a slam dunk case.
I've been in the business for a while, and knowing that when you do actually roll up your sleeves in a case, there's usually a lot more information that just the public's not aware of.
The defense can fight these motions. Ultimately, the judge will decide what will be allowed.
The judge will then engage in a balancing test where he's got to weigh the risk of prejudice versus how relevant this evidence is.
Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
From murder, burglaries to animal cruelty, a new online tool showing crime trends across the state is now available to the public. A'ali'i Duklo shows us how it works.
The Hawaii Crime Dashboard launched Monday afternoon and has data from all 4 counties. Stats show everything from the number of arrests to which offenses are on the rise.
The tool we think could be helpful.
Waimalu residents Stephen and Mika Paresa are fed up with crime in their side of the island, especially at Sunset Memorial Park in Pearl City, which they've been volunteering to help restore for years.
It's insane back there. It's
The drugs.
drugs.
We see that a lot.
Stolen urns. There's a lot of stolen cars.
The new dashboard created by the Hawaii Department of the Attorney General shows vehicle thefts actually went down about 4% statewide from 2023 to 2024. But offenses with the biggest increases in that time were negligent manslaughter, which increased by nearly 190%, and prostitution with a 160% jump. Murders decreased to nearly 14%, and there were 71% less sexual assaults with an object.
You have to look at the numbers in context.
Context such as understanding the dashboard only contains data from 2021 to 2024. Retired Honolulu Police Deputy Chief John McCarthy commends the AG's office for developing the virtual tool, but says an explanation of trends would be helpful, because oftentimes there's a connection between suspects and victims.
In Hawaii, we don't get very many random cases like that where somebody just goes down the road and starts punching people out or shooting at people.
McCarthy adds the data, which was produced through the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program, could guide law enforcement where to dedicate resources.
There's more crime being committed here, less crime being committed there. You can move personnel around to address the issue, and we've done that before. The Honolulu Police Department has done that throughout my career.
You can find the dashboard at crimestats.hawaii.gov, and we have that link on our website. A'ali'i Duklo, Hawaii News Now.
A paraglider is dead after crashing into a cliffside near Makapu'u. First responders got the call just before 2:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon. EMS says a 68-year-old man was found unresponsive on the mountainside. He was airlifted to Sandy Beach, where he was pronounced dead.
I never did see that much cop cars in one setting. Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Seen a chopper land over there.
The paraglider's identity has not yet been released.
How's it on this Tuesday? We've got more light winds today for the rest of the week, actually, but there's not a lot of rain to be had. It's going to be fairly dry through the day with lots of sunshine by noontime. But because the winds will run light, we'll have clouds building in the afternoon, and they could spawn a few showers into the early evening. But those showers aren't widespread. Just a few spots will get some showers. And as far as the surf, it's going to be rising today. We've got a swell coming up in the afternoon below advisory levels, but a bigger swell is coming in tomorrow for north and west shores again.
Thank you, Guy. The state's 3 largest healthcare providers will soon come together to discuss a possible affiliation between Hawaii Pacific Health and HMSA. The Hawaii Medical Association will host a panel discussion this Thursday to talk about what this would mean for healthcare in Hawaii. An audience of physicians and healthcare leaders has been invited, and a video will be released to the public after. New rules for vacation rentals on Hawaii Island are not expected to take effect this month after the County Council voted to delay the new ordinance last week. The vote amends Bill 47 to go into effect on July 1st instead of December 20th. The ordinance sets new registration and renewal fees for short-term rentals, including hosted sites where an owner is on the property. It also adds reporting mandates for hosting platforms like Airbnb and VRBO. And the city's Department of Planning and Permitting has announced the launch of a new AI-guided permit preparation software. It's called CivCheck, and it's designed to check the accuracy and completeness of residential building permit applications before they enter the city's review process. The free software is currently optional for industry design professionals to use, but will eventually become a required feature. Ahead on This Is Now, immigration advocates say the Trump administration's crackdown is expected to accelerate in Hawaii. Daryl Huff tells us why. Plus, the family of a man who died on board a Royal Caribbean cruise ship after allegedly being overserved alcohol has filed a lawsuit. What we know about the investigation in 2 minutes. The Trump administration's immigration crackdown is expected to accelerate in Hawaii, according to advocates for migrants who testified at the state capitol yesterday. They claim many of those arrested came here legally, and some are brought in from other states by ICE. Daryl Huff reports.
The advocates and attorneys say that immigrants are being subjected to a kind of shell game, being moved between detention centers in different states, which makes it very difficult to exercise what few rights they have to defend themselves.
You got a speeding ticket, but why are you being transferred in and out of states and then ending up in Honolulu with convicted felons?
These Venezuelan immigrants, who were working on Kauai legally until the country's protected status was revoked, waived their rights to attorneys. Their employer's attorney said they wanted to get out of the federal detention center and go home. At a hearing today, attorneys who help immigrants for free say many don't get help because the process is moving so quickly while they're in custody.
A lot of times people are bounced from one place to the next and they are unable to locate an attorney that can represent them. And that is one of the main reasons why we try to get to that federal detention center the moment we hear a person is in.
Senator Carl Rhodes was shocked to hear a student arrested in Florida ended up in Hawaii without the paperwork justifying his arrest.
How do you end up in prison if there's no warrant of any kind?
That's what we wondered. It's quite shocking, but more and more we're seeing these workarounds or, I think people can
Isn't
talk
that
maybe.
just a false imprisonment at that point?
It is. And to be transferred in and out of so many federal facilities without that, and you're not told why.
The other problem is that there aren't enough local lawyers skilled in immigration law for all the detainees.
Staff often experience burnout, secondary trauma, and have no choice but to turn away individuals with dire legal needs for immigration because they are at max capacity or over capacity.
Local ICE officials say they don't comment on individual cases, but the lawyers say they've been told agents have quotas and are arresting more people who would otherwise be able to stay.
The landscape is changing, and I expect that things will get worse, and that it's incumbent on us to provide to be a watchdog.
Another reason advocates predict an increase in arrests here is money. The money for immigration enforcement has tripled, including funds to pay to hire local police departments to help with the roundup. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Daryl. A new lawsuit filed by the family of a man who died on board a Royal Caribbean cruise ship says staff served him 33 drinks in a matter of hours. They say he was later tackled by security and given medication. Christian Benavides has the details.
One of the world's biggest cruise lines is facing new allegations of negligence. In a new lawsuit, the family of Michael Virgil, who died on board a Royal Caribbean ship last December, alleges the cruise served him at least 33 alcoholic beverages while the family was waiting for their room to be ready. Kevin Haynes represents Virgil's family.
It stands to reason that he was demonstrably and obviously intoxicated, and yet Royal Caribbean kept pouring the drinks.
According to the lawsuit, Virgil then tried to find his fiancée and their 7-year-old son while intoxicated, but got lost and became agitated. The family claims cruise security tackled him to the ground, stood on his body with full body weight, administered a sedative, and used multiple cans of pepper spray to subdue him. Virgil died hours later. An autopsy determined his death was a homicide, due in part to mechanical asphyxia and alcohol intoxication.
So it never should have gotten to the point where he was so intoxicated that he was wandering around the vessel looking for his family. In fact, his family has consistently said since day one, this is very out of character for him. They refer to him as the gentle giant in his household.
In a statement, Royal Caribbean said, "We were saddened by the passing of one of our guests, worked with authorities on their investigation, and will refrain from commenting any further pending litigation." Maritime attorney Michael Winkleman.
Of course, every single passenger that goes on there also has a duty to drink responsibility, so that cuts both ways. But assuming this gentleman was served 33 drinks in a period of a couple hours, that's in dramatic derivation of well-established protocols across the cruise ship industry.
Christian Benavides, CBS News.
All right, let's take a look outside with our tower cam on this Aloha Tuesday. Guy's gonna have your full forecast when we come back in 2 minutes.
First Alert Weather with Guy Huggy.
Aloha on this Tuesday. The light wind weather pattern will continue. There's not a lot of rain out there. You can see this morning there are some clouds upstream, but they are very stable, not holding a lot of rain. We're focused more on this cold front due in to Kauai tomorrow night. Going to move down the island chain through Thursday. Thursday looks to be the day with the most clouds and the most showers. Could be a little wet on Thursday. As far as this morning, we have a few spotty showers, but really nothing in terms of organized significant rainfall. So we do need more rain in light of the ongoing drought. Now, the winds will run slow today, so that means humidity levels will be higher again. And because of that, the light wind weather pattern, there's a good chance to get some afternoon cloud buildups as well as a few afternoon, early evening showers. But those kinds of showers are never widespread, and they'll be rather on the brief side. All in all, a fairly dry day ahead. And as far as the surf, we've got a building swell coming in this afternoon for North and West Shores. Another fun-sized swell. And with the light winds, conditions will be pretty good. Maybe a little bit bumpy during the middle part of the day, cleaning up in the evening as that swell comes in. A bigger swell is due in tomorrow. That swell could trigger a high surf advisory. That's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, high surf advisory. So light wind weather pattern today and tomorrow. Not a lot of rain, but there will be some spotty afternoon showers today and tomorrow. Remember that front. It's going to drop in tomorrow night for Kauai, move down the island chain through Thursday. Thursday is our next best chance for some pretty meaningful widespread rainfall, although Hawaii Island might not get the rain. And then drier conditions take over again Friday and Saturday. And the models are hinting that we could see another round of rain shaping up for early next week.
Thank you, Guy. Still to come, handmade Hawaii fashion will be on display in Chinatown this weekend. Casey Lund takes us there in 2 minutes. Of a fallen Honolulu police officer now has one less burden, their monthly mortgage. Tunnel to Towers, a national organization that helps first responders, paid off the mortgage for their Waipahu property in full for the ohana of Officer Bill Sapolu. The 46-year-old was badly hurt in a 2023 motorcycle crash while heading out to help a fellow officer. He later died, leaving behind a wife and 3 children. The mortgage gift from Tunnel to Towers is part of its Season of Hope campaign. Well, if you haven't finished your Christmas shopping yet, or if you're looking to buy something for yourself, you may want to check out Chinatown this weekend. Casey Lund shows us why.
Aloha from Chinatown. If you are looking for that perfect gift for somebody this holiday season, it's good to think about shopping and supporting local. We're here in Chinatown on 1018 Smith Street. This is Kai Ao Space. It's kind of a revolving space for artists, designers, creators. And we want to introduce you to some of them. They're here for a very special pop-up. They were here last weekend. We've got Rumi Murakami as well as Rachel Flemister. We are so grateful to be showcasing some of your guys' work. Aloha, and thank you for being here. Let's start with Rumi. I want to talk, first of all, a little bit about your work, your design style, and folks can maybe recognize your work from your space in Kaimuki, correct?
Right. So Rachel, Amelia, and I have a studio, working studio, an atelier, as we like to call it, in Kaimuki, Coco Studios. My style is a bit tailored, I would say. Yeah, a lot of collared shirts, a lot of menswear stripes. Menswear inspired. Some of it is unisex, so I do sell to some men as well. Yeah.
Very good. And you know, we're having this conversation about supporting local designers, creators like our friend Rachel as well. How important is that, especially during the holidays when people are kind of making decisions about what they want to buy, where they want to spend their money? How important is it, especially when we're here in Hawaii, so isolated, it's difficult to pay for products and things to support local creators like yourself?
It's so important for us to stay open and to keep doing what we're doing. It means so much, even just, you know, making one purchase and making a decision to do local.
Yeah, very good. And can you talk a little bit about your style as well?
Mine is quite different than Rumi's, but very complementary. I lean a little bit more feminine, but very easy to wear island pieces that you would wear day to night.
And then I also who couldn't join us today, but I want to give a shout out to Amelia as well. And these cool bags, which I know are kind of like the hot ticket item. People love these things. Yeah.
These are great gifts also. But yeah, our friend Amelia makes these handmade in Kaimuki. She's a fiber artist and just does a really awesome job at making these unique bags.
I'm not a purse guy, but I kind of want one of those. They're really nice. Thank you, thank you. These are really cool, and I know these are kind of like very trendy right now. So remind me what the time and days are for this last weekend of this pop-up here on Smith Street.
So Friday, we'll be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, 11 to 4.
Very good. And follow at De La Rosa Hawaii on Instagram, delarosahawaii.com. And then very simple, rumimurakami.com. And same with the Instagram, Rumi_Murakami. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us and for what you do. Miss any of those details, they're online at hawaiinewsnow.com. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Case. And thanks for watching. See you at 4.